The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, make sure you guys take the time to hit that like button. Definitely take the time to subscribe if you're new to the channel. And surely you will not be disappointed, and I won't be. Listen, I'll be grateful. I really appreciate you. You'll be part of the True School Sports family. You'll be part of the home of boxing. But listen, man, let's talk about an interesting. Now, this is something that I did not expect to ever talk about. This is the weirdest thing I've ever probably talked about in a while. But Anthony Joshua, man, we know recently he lost his big fight to Alexander Usyk, and he didn't look too good while he lost either. What's one thing to lose to Usyk? It's one thing to lose to a cruiserweight, but he got beat up. He got outclassed. He got schooled. He got just dominated, really dominated. And he lost for the second time in his pro career. Lost his titles again. And luckily for him, Eddie Hearn and Matchroom Boxing always had the rematch clauses nice and handy. So they've activated the rematch clause, and now he's going about figuring out how he's going to beat Usyk. And he's been here in America. He's been in LA, shaking hands, kissing babies. But, aside from that, he's also been going to boxing gyms. He's been to a couple of he's been spotted in a couple of gyms. Apparently, he was recently in Virgil Hunter's gym. Spotted with Joshua Buatsi, but the one that really made headlines, the one that people are really talking about, is Anthony Joshua being in the Canelo Alvarez gym. Yes, the Canelo Alvarez gym. So could Anthony Joshua be looking up with Eddy Reynoso soon? It is definitely something to wonder. It's something to ponder. And it's something that we should really take the time to analyze because, my good buddy and my dear friend, Stacey McKinley, he told me many times, he says, look, not everybody can train heavyweights. Not everyone can train heavyweights. So you might be a great trainer, which Eddy Reynoso is a fantastic trainer, and he's been training all these fighters and making them better and improving them and whatnot. But doesn't mean he can train heavyweights at the elite, creme de la creme, highest level of boxing. Now, to his credit, he's got two heavyweights. I think three heavyweights now in his stable. He's got what's his name? Frank Sanchez, who just got a win against Efe Ajagba. And people are looking at Frank as a top 10 guy now, top 15 guy. He's got Andy Ruiz, the former unified champion who beat Anthony Joshua the first time. And he's got Ivan Ditchko, who's been training out there. Ivan Ditchko, I'm very familiar with Ivan. I met Ivan, he used to be here in South Florida a lot. Now he's out there with the Canelo camp and, believe he won a medal in the Olympics. I can't remember if it was bronze or silver, but he's fought Joshua in the amateurs, and Joshua beat him in the amateurs. So there's definitely, if Anthony Joshua is looking for a trainer and he decides to go that route, he's got great sparring partners. He's got great sparring. Now, none of those guys can mimic a Usyk because none of those guys are southpaw. None of those guys are 6 foot. Like, all those guys are bigger heavyweights. Ditchko's like 6'9". Frank Sanchez, while he's fleet of foot, he's not a southpaw. And Andy Ruiz is a whole different heavyweight, as Joshua would know. So, but he's got good sparring. Can Eddy Reynoso train? Is that really a good fit? Because Eddy Reynoso is a trainer that he trains a lot of if we look at Frank Sanchez is a very mobile heavyweight. I don't think being mobile is the way Anthony Joshua is gonna beat Andy Ruiz. So you got him, you got Andy Ruiz, who had won the title, Manny Robles, but has had one fight under Eddy Reynoso, which Eddy Reynoso looks like he's trying to get him to work more behind the jab, and he's kind of fighting like a bigger Canelo. And, he beat Chris Arreola, but he got dropped, and it wasn't his best performance. So I'm not going to lie to you guys. Eddy Reynoso is a good trainer, but I question the fit because I think Anthony Joshua has to have somebody in his corner that has experience with heavyweights. He has to have somebody in his corner that's been in big heavyweight fights, and I just don't think Eddy Reynoso is the guy for that job. I think it's a very weird fit. I feel like if they work together, I could see a scenario where Anthony Joshua is, he's got his style and whatnot, and he's got the new philosophies of Reynoso, and they're going to conflict, and it's going to cause him to do what he did in the last fight, which is not make any decisions and being very indecisive in the ring. When you're fighting a fighter like Usyk, the last thing you could afford to be is indecisive. The last thing you could afford to be is afraid to pull the trigger or not throwing certain shots. So we'll see what happens, man. But look, on the positive side, because I don't want to be negative. Everybody always says I'm negative about Reynoso and Canelo, so I'm trying to be more fair towards them. But Reynoso, he's got a great reputation for putting together game plans and a lot of times what you'll see with Reynoso fighter is they'll have their game plans and they'll base the whole game plans around one or two punches. They'll look at the style of the opponent and the final weakness, whether it be in his patterns with the punches he throws or his stance, and they'll come up with 2 to 3 combinations, and they'll base the whole game plan around that. And I feel like with AJ, I don't know. I don't like the fit. I don't like the fit. As far as Virgil Hunter, I definitely don't like that fit either. I don't think that's a good fit. There's only a handful of guys that I would like to see with Anthony Joshua. You know, and I'll give you a couple of names. You guys can take it how you want to take it. But I think, you know, if Sugar Hill Stewart is willing to train him, then obviously that'd be the great person to train Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua was created to train with a trainer like Sugar Hill, but you know he's with Fury, so maybe Joshua might not want to do that. But Fury has offered to train him along with Sugar Hill Stewart. Also, you got maybe like Stacey McKinley. You know, he's talked a lot about Anthony Joshua on this channel, and he's even pointed out many things before he ever lost about Anthony Joshua. And he's an experienced heavyweight trainer. He knows about heavyweights. He's trained Povetkin. He's trained Samuel Peter. He's trained most notably Mike Tyson. And he's training Trevor Bryan, so you know he'll get some good work there with Trevor Bryan as well. So I like that. That could be an option for him. I mean, who else is there? There's not a whole lot of top top heavyweight trainers. Maybe John David Jackson could be another trainer. I think could be a good fit for him. A guy that has his fighters prepared. A guy that I believe Anthony Joshua will box the way God created him to box if he gets a John David Jackson. So maybe him. You know, there's a lot of good work here for Anthony Joshua. And look, I know these videos sometimes I don't get the most views, but I know that people in the boxing world do watch this channel. So look, if this video does get to Anthony Joshua, I will make a suggestion, another suggestion, True School Sports Boxing Advisory, another advisory tip, free of charge. You know, free of charge. Anthony, you know, Team AJ Boxing, if you guys want to do anything right for yourselves, the best thing you could do is come here to South Florida, come to Warriors Boxing Gym, and you know, come work with Timur Ibragimov. I think Timur will get you after this fight, and they can bring in some sparring. You know, Tyson Fury comes in, you can spar Tyson Fury there, and they'll get you some good work. You know, maybe a fighter, maybe someone like Pedro Diaz. Maybe Pedro Diaz could be a good option. You know, Pedro Diaz is training Filip Hrgovic. Pedro Diaz has experience training heavyweights, so I don't think he can beat Usyk with a new trainer who doesn't have any experience training heavyweights at the championship level. I just don't think it's gonna fly. These names that I'm naming come to mind right now because these are guys that I see all the time, and these are guys who are experienced, and these are guys that have experience for the most part training heavyweight fighters. So those are a couple of options I can throw out there. You guys can give your options down below, but I'm not liking that fit. I'm not liking that fit because Eddy Reynoso, I don't think he's a great trainer, but I don't think he's a great trainer of heavyweights, if that makes sense. So we'll definitely see what happens. You guys give me your opinions. What do you think about Anthony Joshua visiting the Canelo gym? Could an Eddy Reynoso trainer switch be on the horizon? Let me know in the comments down below. What do you guys think about that? Do you think it's a good fit? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? And who would you suggest for Anthony Joshua to train with if you were part of his management team? Leave your comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.